Do you know Larry Zimmerman? I happen to know Larry Zimmerman. I'm a big time player. You know Larry Zimmerman? I happen to know who he is. I'm a big time player. Brooklyn's own. You know Larry Zimmerman? Yeah, fucking asshole. Ask you. You know Larry Zimmerman? Yeah. Hey, do you know Larry Zimmerman? I'm a big time player. Who's Larry Zimmerman? Larry Zimmerman is the principal behind Zim-Gar guitars. Just in case somebody's walking around one day asking that question, you're like, man, I wish I really knew who Larry Zimmerman is. Now, your life's complete, right? This right here is an early Zim-Gar guitar. I was at the swap meet. Nice swap meet. I was out of Columbus. Right? And I saw a guy selling one of his guitars for like $75 for it. Did Elvis play? You know, it was $79. He's like, no, this guitar special, old guitar vintage. Like, all right, dude. Yeah. So I went to the rest of the swap meet, the very last swappable place at the meet there, $15. And it came with a little gig bag too, the same exact instrument. This one's got pretty high action on it, though. But it looks like we can maybe mess with the thing. But other than that, it's looking in good condition. Early 60s, imported Japanese, 929 kind of copy. You know what I'm saying? These right here, I actually thought about just using this for parts because they're becoming hard to find. I have a couple harmonies that are missing them, and I can use a couple of them. I had opportunity to buy them for like 5 of them for $50 a couple years ago, like old factory stock ones. I was like, oh, they'll be around forever. Now they're like going $30, $40 a piece on the market, man. Can't get a break. I need a bunch of them. But alas, I'm going to try to get this guitar running again. It's an early Zim-Gar, and it had like the original rucksack, man, the gig bag that came with it. That's another special moment of my day, getting one of those, So I'm going to flip it around, man. Remember Larry Zimmerman? He's the principal behind Zim-Gar. They make cool electrics. Most of the Zim-Gars out there. I think the other Zim-Gar that we featured a while back was like a 70s one. This is like an early one. So this is like the early days, and the other one we featured is like the later days, man. Old days, days that I remember. We'll flip you around. 1. It's not gonna hurt. People think it hurts. Exaggeration. 2, 3. And that's the case, man. This case is like an anachronism in itself, man. It seems like it was like maybe granddad's case. Or at least daddy's case, you know what I'm saying? In the, old shed. I'm going to take your guitar case from my new Zim-Gar, Papa. All right, I'm watching Leave It to Beaver right now, son. You know what I'm saying? This is my favorite episode where he gets caught in the bowl. So, anyhow, man, these kind of cases aren't really seen, you know what I mean, in 60s instruments. Here's this Leo Master banjolin that we had. Had the very same case and the things from 1922. Very, very similar, kind of like, construction with the cloth handle up here and everything. You know what I'm saying? Here, I got the cloth handle over here. We got the little bunting. You know what I'm saying? Same little bunting. Came from the same area, too. You know what I'm saying? Both from, like, the New York area. The Brooklyn area. Right? That's the case, man. This is a case down memory lane, man. Might have been the same, brand new. Same outfit making the cases for the companies after, 50, 60 years back, in the mid-60s. We might not make the guitars anymore, but goddammit, we still got the same people making the cases. Because that's what it means to be from Brooklyn. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. All right, so let's remove this case very carefully. I don't want to, you know what I mean? The snaps all work, though. I don't care if that snap is. Oh, I'm going to break it right on camera. Oh, you know what? I'd rather not. I'd rather be careful. I'd rather not, you know what I mean, jeopardize this old, beautiful case, man. Isn't that the case? I don't want to mess anything up. I'll see you when we're uncased, man. When we're laid bare to the world. And there it is. Uncased. Oh, untimely case. These two components right here are worth their weight in gold. Worth their weight in gold. So, we're looking at it. Inlay, that's a nice thing. Huge, huge, huge action here, man. Oh. Not good. 60s look on this sticker. We got this. Looks like it was screen printed. Early tuners. Japan stamp. The Japanese. Get some kind of separation here. But unfortunate nature, man. Beautiful back, though. Not a scratch or a nick. That little rucksack that came in really served it well. Right? So, I'm going to see in the laboratory. Got a full set of strings almost. Incredible. So let's see in the laboratory. Let's take these strings off. Right? Let's try to glue that neck back up. And maybe we can get that action back to a regular old place. Then we'll work on this guy. See where we can bring her. Bring her down, Charles. See you in the laboratory. And who are you? Are you Vincent? And who may be asking if I'm Vincent? Oh, look, I've seen the old Larry Zimmerman a couple lodge, and he said to come over here and look for Vincent, and we could work out a payment plan. Oh yeah. Well, you owe the money to Larry Zimmerman, right? Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, I got a little bit backtracked. Right. Welcome back to the laboratory. So this is definitely an early Zim-Gar. We did a video, you can see it right down below, for like a 70s model, around about the fire model we featured last week with our Telestar friends, right? Around that same era, I think a 39G or some shit like that. This is like the early model, the first one. The first one. So, I don't see too much problems. I mean, I was going to take these strings off, and I was like, you know what? These are the original strings. I might as well just leave them on. We can loosen them and like work around them. This one we're not going to use, of course, because it's nylon. It'll probably sound pretty good. It'll be better for the neck. So we have some serious separation here, and I just took a look at it. It doesn't look like there's going to be any problem sealing him back up, right? It will be good as new. Good as new. You know what I mean? So I didn't even take these strings off. I just loosened them a lot. So we're just going to get a lot of better glue in here, man. Yeah. So can't get nothing in there. Can't slide nothing into your crack no more. It's all real tight. Taut, as we say down here in Texas. I can't get my paper inside this crack. No, W. No papers inside manual's crack. We're going to glue them up. Well, I can stick my briefs in there. Some of my paper, Very good, W. I see you getting in end. So, let's do that, man. I see we're all clamped and tramp stamped with all this kind of crap, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get it all inside. Deep inside my crevices. 1, 2, 3. There it is, man. Talk about a twofer, man. Last two episodes was basically the exact same procedure on the exact same guitar. Only this one's from, you know what I mean, mid-60s. Whereas that one's from like the mid-70s. Can you dig it, man? Got the big He-Man clamp. Same exact deal, man. We got some, you know what I'm saying, little things all padded and wadded, man. Let's wait 3 days. 3.5 days, something like that. Let's let it set, and I'll see you there in 1, 2 days. 3. All right, so we've had it 4 days clamped. the He-Man over here, man. 4 days, man. 4 days, dude. Let's unclamp it and see how it's fared. Fared ye well. Yeah, the action is fucking great, man. It's like brand new, man. Right out the factory. Crazy, man. Tighten one of the strings, just double check. It's like, just for real? Because I'm a pretty good judge of action, having done this a million times. Wow, man. Wow. Right on, huh? Hey, man. You gotta, bang a couple lines over the top of that guitar, man, before you clean it. One thing we're gonna do right before we clean it, though, is this, man. It's really, really, like, terrible looking. And if I fuck up one of these strings in the next step, then I'll have to replace the strings, which I kind of, on the fence about it. Part of me is like, these are original, man. Part of me is like, man, this is probably a nice guitar. Wonder what it would sound like with like a nice set of nice coppers on there or something like that. Steel whirl. Clean this up a little bit. I'll see if that turned 1, 2, 3. Yes, now that's much better. It's a little bit pitted. It's kind of harder to do with the strings on it. But it's good enough, man. I'm shining a light at it over here. It looks great. So, I also took the opportunity to clean off these strings a little bit. On the unwound ones, I just used like a piece of 200 sandpaper on pretty much just the B string. The other ones I used the steel wool. Some of the steel wool was oiled steel wool. You know what I mean? The first pass, and then I put a regular steel wool. Just oiled on this, which I cleaned off with a nice rag. And we, of course, did away with this little nylon-y. So I was examining it while we were cleaning it, and I noticed that actually these are glued on, but they're very like sort of like good looking when you're just like sort of examining it. But when you're actually like, you know what I mean, working on it, you see like all everything. So we want to replace that. Why? Shits and giggles, man. Shits and giggles, people. Now, I've got a bunch of stuff up here. This is a piece of plastic that's just been spray painted white. Sometimes you get them that are white. And 3M has like a self-adhesive sort of mother of pearl plastic that you can just hole punch on. Now, I've aged a couple different, styles. This one, I got like a lot of yellow tint to it. Right, and this one's just got like a brownish yellow tint to it, like this one. So I think I'll just cut a little hole here. And I'll just stick it on right here. But I'll put a little tiny dot right in the center there. Like crazy glue or something to sort of mix with this 3M adhesive. Hey man, that adhesive is very, very adhesive, man. Not be adhesible in court. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to get this all greased up and then try to glue something on something all greased up. You know what I'm saying? We'll grease it up after we've glued it. Because that's the way it goes, you know what I mean? The order of operations, man. My dear Aunt Sally took a big shit and was a steamer. It was one of those shits that hit the bowls like the steamer, man. Aunt Sally was a big woman. So I'll see after we've been corrected, man. I wore a corrective spine. That's how I got so straight and erect. See in a minute. And there it is, man. I mean, you can barely tell that it's been replaced. This one, you can see the big glob of glue from the original days, man. But you know what I'm saying? No collector would be like, this has been replaced. I don't want it. Fuck you. Deal's off, right? So that's that, man. Now let's clean this fucking thing off. It's dirty. It's got all kinds of, you know what I'm saying? Flash on real strong, so I want you to see the scum on it, man. It's got like a layer of filth, man. It's a layer of murky filth. You know what I'm saying, man? That we want to eliminate it from everything. You know what I'm saying? All the murky filth must go. How are we going to do that? Now, I'm always criticized by some kind of pundit on this, YouTube land. Saying, you don't ever put furniture polish on a fine instrument. First of all, this is like Formica or something, man. I mean, this is not a fine instrument. And this is probably not even good enough for wood polish, because it's not even probably like a real wood, man. This is probably bullshit wood. But anyway, I've been using this on every kind of instrument, from instruments that were made in the late 1700s to instruments that were made, last year. And it does a great job. You know what I mean? I've never damaged an instrument, caused any damage to an instrument, and I've been using it for over 25, 30 years. I've examined the instruments that I've been using it on, and none of them have shown any sign of any kind of damage, go fuck yourself with a rusty dildo, my friend. You know what I'm saying? A rusty and dusty. I'm going to clean it off, and we'll come back to you, and we'll look at each other, and we'll say, hey, great job. And 1, 2, 3. Now that's nice looking getter, man. It's nice looking getter. Nice looking getter, man. Looks great, man. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it almost. I did the little bridge, man. Keep yourself together, little bridge. Now, this guitar has some obvious signs of drama. Other than the cracked neck. It looked like it maybe broke, man. Maybe it fell down, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's got this little skid, man. Hey, man, I skidded out, bro. And it's definitely rough. Nice and rough. Right? Just like Ike and me's. Let's take a little bit of sandpaper to that. You know, some maybe like 300 grade. You know what I'm saying? 400 grade. And that's smooth it out a little bit. And maybe, but it'll still whirl. I'll see in a moment. Now it's sort of past the Ray Charles test. You can barely feel it. You got the right one, baby. You know what I'm saying? If you were blind, you wouldn't know about it. That's the Ray Charles test. So, we luckily didn't break the little black line, man. Black line has not been penetrated. So, we're going to touch this black up, man. This is getting unblacked, man. See, there's a lot of like little skivets, especially where the incident occurred, man. Look here, man. That was often probably the same incident, man. Yeah, all of a sudden, the lysergic started to kick in. Things got a little bit strange, to say the least. So let's go around all these little ariums. You know what I'm saying? They're all rectalized, man. I can barely recognize him at all, man. Doesn't even look like himself. He's sort of like a stretched out cat in the mirror. I see when that's Dirt. You know what I'm saying? That's like the name of the guy from Green Day. Mike Dirt, man. Yeah, let's say that, man. It's like nothing ever happened to this instrument. You know what I mean? It's like we're still in the okay zone. This is where we had it all sanded down. It looks gorgeous, Wyman. It's all because of you. Look at that, man. The factory fresh, man. Don't you know I'm factory fresh? Factory fresh. Look at this, man. That's a fucking mistake, bro. Hey, man, I lost my balance, man. Things were like getting groovy, and I just didn't see that fucking end of the stage. This guy looks like he's a little bit too light. Hey, man, you look like only 16. What are you doing in here? It's an adults-only party, man. I bet you he's going to do a good job, though, man. I trust you, man. Do the right thing, Wyman. Do it up. Now it looks like nothing ever happened, man. Yeah. Hey, man, there was no scuffle here, bro. Everything's cool, man. I was just listening to my man play his harmonica, bro, and I was jamming along, man. There's no hustle here, man. There's no scuffle or nothing, man. We're all cool, man. Hey, man, you got a cigarette? I know you're a cop and everything, but I mean. So, we start off with Blondie over here. Hey, Wyman. Just wasn't cutting the mustard, though. So I switched over to this old tool bench. This is the old brand they used to have at the Dollar Tree back when it was 1.00, man. Before it was like $5 tree. You know what I'm saying, man? It's bullshit going on in this fucking inflation land, man. Bullshit, man. This guy, just what you do with him, man, is you just put him on there liberally. He's a liberal. He's all woke, and then you wipe it off real quick with the rag, man. And it just leaves you with something that looks incredibly credible, man. Oh, I'm so incredible, man. I'm so incredible, man. So, what are we going to do now, man? Well, now comes a time where I know you're feeling a little bit groovy, right? We're almost ready for Freddie. So what I want to do is I want to shine this guy up, man. I want to shine up. I can generally would just put a string on here, but I want to make a special moment. I want to celebrate, man. I want to dance to the music. Got some of this, man. This is called Brazilian Cornalba wax. It's cleaner wax. I'll shine the light on it, man, so you can see. See? Now you can see, read it correctly, man. This stuff will shine the shit out of here and get all the shit that we have, you know, all remnants of, you know what I mean, Rome. This, you know what I mean, we don't really need to do any fret work on it. I don't see any fret wear at all, man. I see like nothing happening, man. Hey, man, I went on stage, man. I took a little tab, man. And I just didn't, blacked out, bro. I broke my instrument and never touched it again, man.
He got into heroin, man. He just fucked me up, man. 1971 during the war, man. I didn't serve, man. I just got swerved, man. I swerved during Vietnam.
This is the thing that we're going to put on here, man. I would usually put butcher's wax, but butcher's wax is like, you know what I'm saying? Butcher's wax is like a hen's tooth, man. It's like passenger pigeon pie, man. Just it doesn't exist. We don't make it anymore. It's extinct. Right? So we're going to put that on here, and we're also going to put the paste wax on here, man. Looks a little crazy, Jerome. Man, get your head off my couch, right? So I'll see you after we've been waxed, man. Are you waxing off, William? Why don't you come wax over here? You clean your wax? Man, look at that luster. Look at that luster. Just pure gorgeousness. Look at that, man. It's just like a new beginning. A new beginning. Like a mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Who's the shiniest guitar of all? Why, you, my Zim-Gar? Hey, I know Larry Zimmerman. I'm a big time player, right? So, that being done, man, we're almost fucking there, man. We just place this guy carefully back where he belongs, you know what I mean? In there, you still see the little mark. It's a little bit whiter. It's a little bit whiter than the area around it. A little bit whiter, right? You want it to be a little bit whiter than the area because it's been aged a little bit. So we're going to replace the string with a 9, man. Just put a little 9 on there because it's a little bit thinner. I don't want it, you know what I mean? Push this guy up, you know what I'm saying? It'll be fine. He'll be chiming away, man. With that said, I'm going to bring you to the glamour shots. And we'll look at it again and say, ain't you pretty there, boss? And then after that, we'll play it. I'll dance around for you like a fool. And I'll let you on your way, man. A short one. You know, kind of short, right? Yeah, see you on the glamour shots, honey. There it is with the original strap and toe, man. It's odd that this thing has such a nice strap button on it. Considering it's such a cheeseburger instrument. Maybe he got the new strap button, because these usually have like a plastic strap button. When you got the strap, man. Yeah, man, that was like 3 days before our big debut, man. 65. That's when I fell in the orchestra pit, man. I had a fracture on my spleen, man. I couldn't jerk off for 3 days, man. So, this is actually a great instrument. You know what I'm saying, man? It's great, man. Sounds like a gorgeous brand new instrument, man. Brings me right back to, you know what I'm saying, the monkeys, the birds, you know what I'm saying, Hermits, Wayne Fontana and the Main Benders, man. So, what do we do with these guitars after we fix them and play them for you? Well, I put them in a big pile, man. What about these accessories? Do they stay linked? Sometimes they do, but most of the time, I just take their accessories and I throw them in a big pile I have behind this big amplifier. A huge pile of straps, like fucking Auschwitz or something like that for guitar parts. Go to that little building and take your shower. You know what I'm saying, man? Like a whole pile of straps, man. I want to see my master again, man. I want to go one more time. I want to play the Easy Rider song, man. One more time, man. So, that's pretty macabre, man. That's pretty macabre. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to bum any people out, man. I don't mean to make light of Auschwitz or like, you know, a bayonet guitar strapped either, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm woke as the next guy, man. I understand. Jam, man. Let's hear it, man. I'm tired of talking. You know what I'm saying? I got nothing really to say, as you can see. There's all kinds of dust going all around. You know why there's dust? Because I got this fucking thing out of the pile, man. Get into the building now. Mach schnell. You know what I'm saying? Now all dust flying around. I wanted to show you something significant, man. Anyway, let's hear it. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll say, Einstein, fly there. I just came back from the swap meet. There were these 2 guys as I pulled up, standing on my porch. One guy was like looking into my window. The other guy was standing there with my screen door like open. And he had like these pamphlets.
It's the hand, a whole stack of them. I looked at it. I thought it was that guy from that 70s show. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was Hyde. You know what I mean? I thought these guys would walk around door to door and petition to free Hyde. I was like, yeah, I'll sign that, man. You know what I mean? He was framed, you know what I'm saying? That was so long ago. It was like Bill Cosby, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, who are you guys? You know what I mean? He's like, yeah. One guy's like, who had all the pamphlets in his hand with my screen door. He's like, would you like to come celebrate the death of Jesus with us? And he handed me, and I read it, and I was like, Jesus, that. And I looked at the other guy, and he's like, yeah, and his re-erection. I was like, re-erection? I was like, are these guys safe? Am I going to die? These are going to be the last two people I ever see in my life. And I looked at the back of it, and it says Jehovah's Witnesses. I realized, oh, these people are harmless, Donnie. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, all right, I know what's going on here. I guess that's what they think Jesus looks like now, you know what I mean? It's a new interpretation. That's the woke Jesus, man. Or maybe it's not even really Jesus, man. Maybe it's Jesus. It's Jesus Ramirez. He lives in the back of Kingdom Hall. He keeps it nice and tiny. He is one of the less fortunate. It's not really Jesus. Maybe it is, man. I said to him, I said, yo, man, that looks like the brawny guy from the paper towels. You put a toque on him and like a red flannel shirt. You know, that don't look like Jesus. And they just kind of like left. I think he wanted the pamphlet back because he's like, hey, man, that's not the brawny guy, man. And I started thinking, like, maybe like the Scott Towel Company bought the Jehovah's Witnesses to keep them afloat. You know what I'm saying? Possible, right? National Geographic was bought by the Walt Disney Company. It's like the master of reality. You know, it's the speaker of truth being bought by like the purveyor of fiction and fantasy. That's maybe why the whole woke thing started. Think about it, man. The Illuminati. Aliens. So anyway, it's a beautiful instrument. I was thinking a lot about my man Ronnie recently, you know what I'm saying? He died from stroke in 2006. He was the lead singer of the Derelicts. And he was always getting me in all these cool doo-wop bands. You know what I mean? He got me into the Cordials, really big time. It's like an a cappella group from like the early 60s from New Rochelle, New York. And he started getting me into this band called Chessmen, which was an a cappella group from New York City, I believe. It was two black guys, two white guys, and a Puerto Rican guy. And he's like, we gotta find that album. We were like trying to search down albums in the early days of like, you know, Google and stuff like that. And he hadn't heard in like 30 years or something. Him. And they were all great, every one of them. You know, they're all fantastic. I was like, oh, give me another one, give me another one. So I got a hold of one of the people who was a chessman, this guy, Willie Ramirez, the Puerto Rican guy. And I kind of became friendly with him, like friends with him, you know what I'm saying? He sent me a copy of the album. And he's like, yeah, he's like, you know, this whole nostalgia thing, man. I'm thinking of reuniting the band, man. I'm trying to call this guy. He couldn't find one guy in the band, he was telling me. And I told my friend Ronnie. He's like, Bobby, I was born to play that part. And he sang all the harmonies from his one song, I Want to Dance. I want to dance. And he's like, whoever it is, I could do it. I was born for this. You know, this is my chance. And I said, all right. The next day, he had like a major stroke. He died shortly. And Willie Ramirez, he eventually sent me a tape of their reunion. They found the other guy, man. His name was Ted Ziffer. He was like the lead white guy. And around that time, I was also listening to this a cappella group. It was a contemporary a cappella group. So like these older, middle-aged black guys. It was like the early days of YouTube watching it, man. They were called Quiet Storm, and they were incredible. I think they're from Philadelphia. And there's a recording they made on YouTube, you know, them with Ted Ziffer, you know, the leader from the Chessmen. And they were covering a band called the Emblems, which was an early doo-wop group. They had a single in 1962. And they were also, what, two black guys, two Puerto Rican guys, or two black guys, two white guys, and a Puerto Rican guy, something like that. And they were in the Air Force, you know what I mean, the military band. And there's a song called Would You Still Be Mine? Came out in 1962. And I think that the Beatles got a hold of this record because in that time period, Brian Epstein was securing all these very rare American releases. And you can hear the early BBC tapes from that era. Has all this like really rare stuff because they need like hours and hours to play at the Star Club. So they learned all these like crazy songs. I think they knew this song, and I think eventually they changed it, man.
But again, I heard Quiet Storm and Ted Ziffer for the first time, and then I got Turn On the Emblem. It's a great song. If I have to go away, tell me what would you say? Would you still be? Would you still be my girl? Or would you be? Would you be? Oh, would I leave you all alone? Would my love become unknown? Would you still be? Would you still be my girl? Or would you be gone, gone? I write you every day, and you know that I'd say that I'm wrong, to do wrong, wrong. Oh, and that boy won't be happy till he's seen you cry. Amen. Peace be with you. Quiet Storm, Ted Ziffer, the Chessmen, the Beatles, man, everybody, Ronnie. Peace be with you, man. Jehovah's Witnesses, man. Assalamu alaikum, man. I mean no harm to anybody. Race, creed, color, anybody. I'm just kidding around, man. But it does kind of look like fucking Paul Bunyan a little bit, you know what I'm saying, man? I'm not joking about that.